Good morning, Coolest Coast. It's time for coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts. This is Kristin Odell, and I'm Tina Prigge. So happy to see you on a Thursday morning, Kristin.
We did the wrong way. I must be backwards again. I have to point to my left.
So your camera must be mirrored.
It must be. And we can't change it once we're live, so
No, remember we had so much fun doing that one time, and then we watched the playback and nothing changed for the viewer.
totally. I know. Happy Thursday. Most weeks we try to keep the show the same. But this week, you had something and I had something. So again, we're serendipitous in our schedules.
Yeah, I'm
You did
so
there.
happy that we could both switch together because you just had like an epic experience. Wait, I got to put this photo up. Tell us what was happening in Denver that inspired this adorable photo.
So I flew out to Denver. So this past Monday and Tuesday, Clifton Strengths coaches and just amazing, incredible coaches, business coaches from around the world came together, the 150 most brilliant coaches, and we got together in Denver and had a 2-day, 3-day conference. And I'm blessed enough to be able to head out there and participate and just connect with some incredible friends that I usually only see once a year and just learn so much. And
Are there any nuggets or takeaways that you can share with us? Anything that you're especially excited about or, mind blown about or anything?
yes, I sat through a session with an individual. His name is Leo Castillo. He's brilliant,
That is a fabulous name, by the way.
isn't it? On like the structure of team dynamics, and he used the phrase like how to codify a team.
Ooh.
And the session was really good. It was like an hour and a half session, and it could have been like 3 hours. It was so good. It was like rapid fire. And one of the things that made it cool is we watched a clip from Friends, and then we had to talk about what role were those characters playing in each moment. So were they like somebody that was making a move and providing leadership? Was somebody following? Was somebody opposing? Or was somebody a bystander? And it was just so fun. It was such an interactive, like rapid fire session. So,
What's the importance of codifying a team? How does that help a business succeed? Why is that
yeah, so I
valuable?
mean, the idea is that the team is a well oiled machine. They know how to work together, they know how to let somebody lead and let somebody follow so they can have success because you have to have people playing those roles in order for things to work. You have to empower people who maybe are opposing and offering contrary ideas to make the team better, to make ideas better, and just like how to identify different roles in the team and how to make sure that they're used healthy. So, like, if a leader is moving and everybody is opposing, that's not going to be productive, right?
Mm.
Or if a leader is making decisions and some of those individuals are being passive bystanders, meaning they've just pulled themselves away and they're not even participating, which is like active disengagement basically in the workforce, like how that impacts the team. So we studied all those roles, and it's based on a book, and I don't remember the author right now, but I have ordered a copy of the book, and it's my 2026 goal. It's a super like research heavy book. My goal is in 2026 to study that book and finish it. So it's like a big hardcover.
And how do you approach a book like that? Like when you own a book, are you with highlighter and pencil and taking notes and things
So
right in the
this,
book?
I'm terrible with nonfiction, terrible at business books. And I have to really like be diligent about doing it. So yes, I will be highlighting, I will be penciling and like studying it. I will probably set aside time in each week to do it and force myself to do it. The last time I did a book study, a business book study, I actually created a book group and led it so that we were all accountable to finishing the chapters and talking about it each week. We did like a Friday. Actually, you participated with me. We did the culture shock book together,
Yeah, yeah, that was so great.
right? And so I've debated about like, the book is on its way, but I may set up a book club just to keep myself accountable.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So then, does a book like that come with some sort of study guide or workbook, or is it up to you to determine what you're studying, what you're delving into, what you're questioning?
Yep. Yes. I will need to take a look at it and kind of figure out how I'm going to tackle it. So,
Nice.
yeah, my goal is between now and the end of the year to kind of get that framework set up. And um, if I have time to start before, I certainly will start before. Summer is not the time for me to start a book like that,
Yeah, yeah.
as I'm sure you can all appreciate. Um, but they're just, when you go to a conference like that, you just like are drinking from the fire hose with information for like 2.5 days. So I feel a little jumbled in my mind yet. And I need to go through my notes, but there's things I made notes along the way where like, oh, I have to follow up with this client. I've got this brilliant idea. Or, oh my gosh, this fits for this. I've got to call them and share that. Or, oh, I met this person and we've connected on LinkedIn, but I got to send them a follow-up note. And, there's just all these things that, I just need to like sit down and go through everything yet. So,
It sounds like it was so inspiring. And looking at this photo, I'm thinking that the location is also very inspiring.
yeah. I flew out there on Saturday with the intent that Sunday was going to be just an adventure day because you're in Colorado. Like I'm flying all the way. And so on Sunday, I rented a car with my friend Jenny and we hit the road. So this is St. Mary's Glacier. And it's actually just like a half-mile hike. The elevation's pretty intense and the terrain's pretty rocky, as you can see, but it was so worth it. Look at this incredible view.
I mean, the clouds are picture book perfect.
Yeah. And this, where you can see the snow behind, like this is the bottom of the glacier. So it just like goes right up the mountain behind me.
That's amazing. What
Stunning.
was the air? It looks like it would feel crisper, fresher.
Yeah. And piney. Like it smelled
Oh.
so good. But it was warm. You can see, like, I have my sweatshirt off. We were very comfortable. It's probably in the high 60s, low 70s. I mean, just gorgeous.
And then what about the altitude? Did the elevation change affect your experience being out there?
So I've been out to Denver once before. You have to drink a ton of water when you're out there to stay hydrated. When we started this hike, I was a little winded. But then once my body kind of settled into that, then I was fine. I didn't have any more issues, but people definitely get sick.
Oh, so drinking a lot of water. How much water? This much water?
Uh, well played, Tina. Well
Thanks.
played. Aren't our facial expressions so great?
So are you on the left, front
Yes.
left? Yeah.
Yep. In
Tell
my
us about this experience. Tell us what you're feeling.
I don't know because when I did it, I was like, that was awesome. It was not as intense as I thought. Like, I want to do it again. And then I got the pictures, and this looks like it was really wild.
I mean, look at those rapids. That is intense. So is this an example of working together as a team?
Oh, yeah. We had an awesome team. These three guys behind us were cousins. One of them lives in Singapore. The other two, I believe, lived in the US. They were meeting up for a cousin meetup and picked Denver, and we just were lucky enough to have them as our buddies. Um, and then the guide is standing in the back looking like a boss. Um,
So how do you prepare for that? Did you have to, did they prep you or train you in some way, or did they just give you a paddle and stick you in the boat?
nope, they don't. So the first thing is that was like an intermediate level rapids. So you had to be 13, check. Had to be a pretty decent swimmer, check. And you had to be somewhat physically fit. Like we had to legit like paddle sometimes and, crawl in and out of the boat. And if the boat crashes, you have to be able to like get in and out of the water and stuff like that. But so that's really the minimum. But yeah, they put the boats on land and they have us practice rowing, and you have to like row as a team together, and they tell you what to do if you fall out, and all different things. So we probably went through, I would say, a half an hour to 45 minutes of training on the gear and like what to do, and then we got to go in.
What
So
do you do if you fall out? Because it looks like the boat's probably moving at a pretty quick clip considering those rapids. So do you just kind of get left behind
you
or
do not get left behind. So these guys are they're so talented that they literally can get the boat on the side of the shore in a matter of a minute or two. I mean, it's so incredible. So basically you have a helmet on and you float feet first so that you're using your feet to kind of block with rocks and stuff like that. And basically what they said is like usually if you fall out right next to the boat. So if you can grab the rope that's on the side of the boat, you just hold on and a team member pulls you back in.
Mm.
Um, and then if you end up floating away or you kind of get stuck, you just float. And then the guides actually tell you, like, okay, swim to the boat, go to the shoreline. Like they tell you what to do if you fall in because they've got the best point of view. Um, and I mean, we saw a couple of kayakers got in right around the same time we got in, and the kayakers wiped out twice with us. And um, these guys, they're like a different, it's a company versus independence, but they stopped to make sure the kayakers are okay and to help them get back in.
Oh, wow.
So after the second one, they were like, you guys need to get out. It's too rough. Like, this is not good for you. And we did see a rafting boat that tipped out. Everybody was out of the boat and they were marching up the hill on the side of the rapids, and their boat was like 50 feet down up on the side of the river.
Did you guys tip it all?
Nope.
Awesome.
Totally secure. There was not ever a time I thought I was going to fall out.
That is amazing. And your guide, is he pretty much in control? Like, how, you said he could get the boat to the side. Can he do that
Yes.
independent of you guys paddling?
Yep. So he is basically the rudder in the back, kind of picking directions and navigating us. And then he would just tell us when he wanted us to paddle. So he would say, paddle one, paddle two. And then we would just do what he told us to do.
Nice. How long? Like, how far did you go?
We went about 5 miles down the rapids. It was an hour and a half long trip. Amazing.
Wow.
The water was freezing. If you can ever imagine freezing cold mountain water, that was it.
Okay, so are these like wetsuits that you're wearing?
Yeah, so we had wetsuits on underneath. We rented wet shoes also. And then these like blue jackets are kind of like a splash or wind guard over the top. So like our wetsuits were like kind of like tank tops. Um, and then you have a life jacket over that. And yeah, one time I had water come up and splash right down the front of my thing, and it was so cold going down my chest. And I mean, there were a couple times where I was like, "Woo, that was freezing." Um,
Were you also sweating because you were working so hard or because the water was so cold?
yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but it was so fun.
That's
And we went
amazing.
from there because there's hot springs in Colorado. We went from that place after, so we were pretty cold after that. We went to this place in Indian Springs where they have caves cut in underground, and you do a hot soak in these like cut out pools down in these caves. So we did that after.
That's amazing.
It was really fun.
So that would like relax your muscles, warm you up, just chill you out.
The pools were between 105 and 115 degrees.
Were they
So
hard to get into at that temperature?
yeah, you got to take your time. You kind of had to ease in, and you can't spend a lot of time in it. So like there's a door into this like cave space, and then there was a hallway in between with a bench. So you could like get out of the super hot and go to the intermediate hot and just hang out. And then there was another one that was a little bit cooler, and that had like wood benches and wood chairs, and you could go lay in there and fill your water up. And then so we went back and forth between those for an hour and a half. So we'd get cool, then we'd go back in and dip, and you didn't have to go in the water in there. Like it was like a steam sauna. So you could even just lay on like, they had benches in there, but
No wonder you're glowing today.
I know, right? So 10 out of 10 recommend.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And you could do that without having to paddle down the river.
Yes. Yeah, that's a totally separate thing. And they have other ones, like they have like a family pool that I think is more like 100 to 104 degrees. Like they have different options at this place, but
And you just wear a swimsuit to do that?
mm, yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Very nice.
So,
I
when in Rome, you've got to go try things.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such a good attitude. I highly recommend being open to trying new things.
Awesome. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that you got to meet up with some friends. Tell us about seeing Alex and Susan. I was so happy to see this photo.
Oh, yesterday. So yesterday was kind of a day off for me because I didn't land until very, very late on Tuesday night. So yesterday, the girls are off of school, and I'm like, we're gonna just have a day. And yeah, we had an opportunity to see Susan and Alex and just visit and share snacks and walk the beach together and look at this beautiful tree on her property. It was so, so fun.
Look at the smiles. It's wonderful. Hi, Alex. Hi, Susan.
I know. Good morning. Yeah, Josie and Nora, Susan's a pretty cool woman. She's an artist. She is like just the bomb. So the girls are like totally in love with her now.
Oh,
As
had they met her before?
just really briefly. So this was like their first chance to really kind of sit in her presence, and you know how fun that is.
Oh, yep, absolutely. And then
So
Alex is a great artist in his own right too.
yeah, and you can see he's got his little camera strap on. He was just snapping pictures and stuff, and it just was really special to spend a couple of hours with them
Yeah.
yesterday.
Aw, how cool. Very cool. Well, so Teak, my guy, turned 20 this week. It's kind of mind blowing, right? Like as a parent, you spend all this time, and then all of a sudden, 20 years old, like 2 decades have gone by. It's incredible. So we got to celebrate him. I'm just going to put up a quick picture. Can
I
you guess? Can you guess where we are or what kind of place this is?
love it. It looks like a beer garden or a German restaurant. That's
Ding
my
ding.
Is it?
Yep. So he loves authentic German food. Like, if this kid could eat schnitzel every day, I think he would. So his request was to go to the Bavarian Beer House in Milwaukee, and we were able to do it because it's completely accessible. So that was wonderful.
Um, have you been there before?
We were there last year, and it's interesting. We went last year on the day of his birthday, and this year on the day of his birthday. So he's pulling up pictures and comparing them.
Oh my gosh, what did he have to eat?
He got a schnitzel that had like an egg on top.
Mm,
I think it was like some kind of schnitzel a la Holstein, and the Holstein meant egg on top
how
uh,
about
with
you?
with Spätzle. Oh, and then we had like some sauerkraut balls, like deep fried sauerkraut balls, which were surprisingly delicious. My mom and I shared a schnitzel with ham and some kind of melted cheese on top. We
Mm,
tried some pierogi. We of course had sauerkraut. Um, my dad is a Reuben guy, so he's like, "Oh yeah, Reuben all the way." And then Jason just orders like whatever plate of Wurst they can bring him. So it was like knockwurst and bratwurst and some, the
oh,
worst wurst, whatever.
love that. There's a place in Sheboygan. It might be called the Train Depot, train station, something like that. And they have German food, and you can get a worst platter.
Yeah. Is it the worst?
I think it's the best. I've only been there one time. But our friend Jason got, funny enough, Jason got the worst platter.
Is that something about being named Jason? They're just like in tune with eating the sausages, the
Maybe,
forced meats?
maybe. Do you have German ethnicity in your family?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, Prigge, the last name Prigge he's pretty much full on German, and then, I've got a big portion of German in my family too.
Nice. Who is the best German style cook in your family?
Probably my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom is really good at that kind of thing. Oh, and speaking of my mom, so we were traveling down to Milwaukee together, and they came to pick us up. We hadn't communicated at all about dress code or anything, but when they showed up, it ended up that we were twinning. We had on like the same shade of blue, and then we both have like a blue pattern, bottom part on. We're like, what? Too
I love
precious.
this so much. First of all, can we just say that your mom is like the hippest dressing, you know?
Yeah, she looks good, doesn't she?
Yeah, I just like, she always looks cute. She's always put together. Like, I've never seen this woman in jogging pants, right?
Right.
So good. And look at you rocking the summer skirt. I
Thanks.
love it. So comfy.
So that was a great experience. And just, like looking at Jason, like he's 20. How did this happen? But, it's like your biggest hope, right? That you can raise them to reach that age. Hopefully he keeps going.
Now, you recently told me the story about when Teak was born, and he caused you many, many hours of labor.
39 hours of labor, which I think should not be legal. And then it was an emergency C-section at the end anyway. But I always tell him, I'm so happy he's here. I would go through it all again because he's so worth it.
Yeah, does it feel like yesterday?
It doesn't necessarily feel like 20 years ago, but it also doesn't feel like yesterday. More
Yeah,
like maybe 8 years ago.
that's so fun. Well, Teak, we wish you the happiest of birthdays. Welcome to the 20s.
And my dad was pretty excited because at the Bavarian Beer House, they had a whole little like cribbage station.
I love it. Did you play there?
We didn't get a chance to play. We didn't, you know, Jason doesn't play, Teak doesn't love to play. So we felt it would have been a little selfish if we'd made everyone hang around for a game.
Love that. Well done.
But I
Hopefully,
have been working with therapy to try to figure out how to use the hand to shuffle some cards. So we were able to play a game at home where I used the hand to shuffle, very slowly and methodically, but without a shuffler.
I love that. You're making such amazing progress. Now, is this your loner hand or the real hand?
Yeah, it's the loner. Ta-da!
Loner hand. I love it. Have you crushed a deck of cards?
I've not crushed one. I have held it too tight though, where it's like, come on, let go, let go. The other day I was holding my phone. I was gonna plug it in, right? So I was holding it like I had fingers on the glass and holding the back and putting the charger in, and I could not get the hand to let go. I was like, Jason, I don't know what to do. I can't ungrip. And I was so afraid that it was going to do the opposite and just keep crushing the glass. So
Yeah.
he actually had to pry the fingers apart.
Do not break the phone.
So it's a real conundrum because I'm trying to do important things with the hand, but I
Yes.
also don't 100% either trust it or trust myself. So,
Right. Well, and that's just it. Like, inducing panic isn't probably going to help release, right?
right, right, right. Only makes it worse.
Yeah,
So,
you're almost like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this, right?
right, right. Just, yeah, totally relax, do a little yoga breathing, and then like try to reset.
Yes. I am one with the hand, and the hand is releasing.
Hey, tell us about this happy family moment.
Well, this happy family moment happened when I was gone.
Oh.
Dad took his daughters out for a delicious dinner at Courthouse Pub, kind of our one of our favorite spots. I think they secretly like to go there because first of all, they're big fans of Eric, one of our favorite waiters there, and
Ah,
second of all, they
yes,
love the
shout out to Eric. Eric is great.
right? And then they just love eating the dessert.
Ooh, what do they choose? Is it like a creme brulee?
Grace had creme brulee, Josie had flourless chocolate cake, and
Oh,
Nora had
yum.
cheesecake.
Ooh,
Isn't this so
yeah,
cute?
it is so cute. And so they sent this to you while you were away?
Yeah,
It
they
must
did.
have warmed your heart.
I know. I do. I just first of all, I love that they made a point to go and do this. Like I think it's really good for Doug and the girls to kind of have those moments without me. And conversely, like for me to be able to go and travel and network and have fun with friends, like there's something
Yeah.
that feels healthy.
And so they were essentially codifying the team, right?
That's right. That's right. They sure were.
Hey, I love the bookshelves in the background.
Thanks. That's our playroom. That's where the kids like for years, like during COVID, they did homework in there, and we've got all of our board games and cards and stuff in there. And for some people, the shelves might be a little busy, but I've always loved the color and the shape of board games.
Is there a board game that's popular with the girls right now? Something that they like to play?
We do play a lot of cribbage. I would say the game of life gets brought up pretty often at our house.
Oh, a classic.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else is up there that we really grab.
Is Apples to Apples a game that you guys play?
We do have apples to apples. We have the kid version and the adult version. We do just play like a lot of cards. So Crazy Eight, King's Corner. We play a game called Garbage. Um, so it's sometimes it's just like I keep a deck of cards in my Mrs. Dunkel. Mwah. Good morning.
Love these kids.
This is
Aw.
one of the girls' teachers. Love her so much. Yeah, so we just play. Like I keep a deck of cards in my car, and we have them in the camper, and so a lot of times, like if we're going out for dinner, we take a deck of cards with us and we play while we're kind of waiting, um, which
You
is good.
know, Jason and I went on our honeymoon long time ago, but in Hawaii, and we had a deck of cards, and we'd play cards, and we had downtime, had a lot of fun. Did you know though, you cannot play cards in the Hawaii airport? It's
What?
actually illegal to play cards because it could be gambling and gambling. Like we're like, this is just a game. Like there's no, but nope, you are not allowed to play cards in the
Did
Hawaii
you
airport.
learn this by violating the rule?
Yep. Yep, we got scolded. I was like, I've never been scolded for playing cards before.
That is so interesting.
Hey, so is playing cards on this summer bucket list?
Ooh, this is Nora's list. Hmm.
Ooh, go to the beach. I love that. Fly a kite.
I
Excellent.
don't see cards on there, games on.
Have a water balloon fight.
The girls love it. Yeah, Nora, they did this at school as one of their end of the year activities, which I think is so cute. Isn't this a great list?
It is. I love that visit the library is at the top of the list.
Well, so that's on the top on the right, and on the bottom it says complete SRC. What do you think that stands for?
Summer reading challenge. Love it. I love it. So, did you know that to sign up for the summer reading challenge, they're having an event at the Big Cow on June 12th.
Ooh,
It's
I
at
didn't know that.
it's at noon, and if you go and sign up for the summer reading challenge, you get a free scoop of ice cream.
Wow, that's awesome. I think the girls, if Jeannie's still watching, I think they actually sign up through school. I
Oh,
think that school does a partnership with them and they've got the tracking form and stuff, but um that sounds like fun. Do you
yeah.
think I could sign up for the summer reading program and get a free scoop?
It is open to all ages.
Whoa. Okay,
So, yeah,
friends. Consider yourself challenged.
yeah. And if you need reading material, there is a used book sale coming up at the Manitowoc Library June 26th, 27th, and 28th.
Look at you go.
I just love it. I've found some great materials there over the years. Some of my favorite books have actually come from finding them at the sale.
I bet.
And I
I know
love it because Teek's always excited too. Like he'll often send me a link, like, "Hey mom, this sale's coming up. Let's go."
it is. Yeah, also, I'll just mention really quick, there's free little libraries all around our community. So there is one on Ninth Street in front of like Lincoln High School, JFK. There is one by Jefferson School. There is one at Grow It Forward. Let's see, Tina, do you know of any other ones?
What school is on like South 14th Street? Is that Monroe? There's one there, but I think it's near the Grove
Jefferson.
Forward Gardens. Is that
Yeah,
what you're talking
Jefferson
about?
is on 14th Street. I know there's one there.
I
Uh,
know there's one on Reed Avenue, kind of near Just Orthodontics.
oh, perfect. Okay, there you go. That's one on the north end. Um,
I think
so,
there's one by Action Realty on South 35th Street.
ooh, that's a good one too. Yep, that's right across from like the Hope House there in that
Yes,
neighborhood.
yes.
Anybody else know other free little libraries in town? There might be a map somewhere. Do you
Is
know?
there? I'm wondering. That's a great question.
But that's just a great way if you have one in your neighborhood to like walk and pick up books. The other thing I want to mention, when we were with Susan yesterday for a little bit, she gave the girls a couple of old copies of National Geographic. And so if you have magazines laying around that, there we go, one at
One
the
at the
zoo,
zoo.
thanks,
Good to
Wendy,
know.
great. Um,
And oh, there's one by Riverview.
Nice. So that's kind of on the western end of town also. But yeah, she gave the girls magazines. So if you've got magazines laying around that, are shareable that you still have, whether it's with adults or kids, that's a fun way to get reading time into and kind of have it's a different texture than a book.
Yeah, and National Geographics, those are great to pass around and share.
Yeah. Yeah. Nora was so excited because the one had penguins on the cover.
That's awesome.
Right? So So even if you have them at home, oh, Mary said she's got a ton. You could put those in a free little library also. Like, I don't think it just has to be books. Those are really, really fun things for people to, look at the pictures and read about things. So,
I love that there's this new custom of sharing literature, with your friends and neighbors. It's fantastic.
yeah. Do you think it's new?
Well, I mean, the whole little free library movement is, within the last decade or so, right? Those didn't exist when I
Right.
was younger.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely feels more accessible, right? Like the whole idea is these are in your neighborhood and you can go access them for free and, swap things in and out.
Are you reading anything for fun currently?
Well, I'm really working on finishing the Let Them book. So we talked about that months ago, and I got like probably halfway to three-quarters of the way through, and then my dog ate my copy.
That sounds like an excuse. Very likely, Kristen.
So I actually took Doug's copy with me and did a little bit of reading when I was in Denver, but I'm reading another book on my Kindle. I don't know what the title of it is. So, yes, I have multiple things going on, usually,
No,
always. How about
very
you?
nice. Yes, I am currently reading a book called The Kitchen House by Kathleen Grissom. I'm
Mm.
halfway through. It's a really excellent historical fiction piece.
Ooh, nice. The Kitchen House?
hmm You know,
Awesome.
kind of a gut punch when you remember late 1700s history. But
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, I just want to leave everybody with this photo, enjoying your coffee. Thank you so much for sharing this day, this morning with us, enjoying coffee with Kristen and Tina. We really appreciate you all.
The time went too
I
fast.
know, I'm so glad to see you again. But we'll be back next Wednesday, right?
Next Wednesday, we'll see you then.
All right, take care, everybody. We're your hosts, Kristen Odell, Tina Prigge. You've been watching Coffee with Kristen and Tina.